'Twas the night before her 24-hour readathon. There's a projector going in the background. Was it a good idea to tie my hair up? No, but here we are. Hello. Hi, my name is Kitty. And tomorrow I'm going to be trying to read for 24 hours. Now, I do not plan on not taking breaks at all during those 24 hours because I know that if I do that, I will burn out. I'm already feeling it with reading for some reason. Actually, no, I'm not. Uni is just taking me apart. So I have a whole day tomorrow, and we're going to try and read as much as possible within that day. And I figured that I put them so far away too. Since I'm trying to make it a whole day thing, I would give you my TBR pre-day. So, my TBR for this day of mine is not Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. However, this edition of Robert Louis Stevenson's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde includes his short story, The Bottle Imp, and I have not read it yet. So that's what we're going to be aiming to do. It's so short. It starts on page 75, and this is like 110 maximum pages long. So it's not long, it's not a lot. I'm just trying to finish this so that I can like officially say that I have read this entire book and not just have it looming in the back of my mind that I still have this short story in here to finish. So that will be the first thing that we're going to try and finish. The second thing that I'm going to try and finish tomorrow is the Iliad. I have been putting it off for long enough. I have pushed it to its limit. It is October. I started this in June, at the end of June, but we're at mid October. It's been months. It is enough. I'm on page 359. There are 610 pages. No, I was right. I was right. Oh my God. There are 610 pages of this. I have less than 300 pages left, and it is a poem. It is not even a full novel. It's a poem. And it's so like readable. Emily Wilson has done truly God's work with this. Why is it taking me so long? This has been on my currently reading for too long. It's unjustifiable. But the last one is a book that I will actually be starting and hopefully finishing tomorrow, which is Paladin's Grace by T. Kingfisher. I like generally know nothing about this. I have heard very good things about it. And then I read the back and I saw sock knitting paladins and I thought, how adorable. Now I want to read it. Um, Also, this cover is so pretty. So pretty. It's purple. I don't remember the last time I saw a purple cover. And also just like the two like I'm not a person on the cover kind of person, but this art style is gorgeous and ugh, I saw it and I wanted it and I got it and now I want to read it. So this will be my first T. Kingfisher ever. This is me starting another another series. Am I in the middle of 7,000? Yes. Do I care? Not really. Not really. No. I'm having a good time. So, Paladin's Grace by T. Kingfisher is the third and final book that I'm officially putting on my TBR. I feel like I have a good mixture of like genres here. I don't necessarily know what the Bottle Imp is, but Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is like gothic horror-y, so I'm assuming the Bottle Imp is kind of similar. Then we have a classic epic poem with the Iliad, and then we have what I'm assuming is cozy fantasy, or at least like fantasy with Paladin's Grace. And I will see you tomorrow. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm so tired. Hello, good morning. It is 9:15 on the dot, and I just finished The Bottle Imp. Do not be fooled by the cover of this. And I enjoyed it for the most part. I think it was relatively well written. There were some moments and word choices that felt icky to me. So there's that. But other than that, I thought the writing was good. I feel like I have the same feelings for this that I did for Jekyll and Hyde, which is also in this, in that I think it is a good short story for discussion because it does kind of explore greed and longing and what happens when you are kind of given this power to create a life that is beyond the one that you're currently living and how that takes over. Also, the idea of like absolving yourself. No, how do I put this? It's this idea that your life can only be good to the detriment of somebody else's life, and that was kind of interesting to read. I settled on 2.5 stars, which is very middle of the road. It's not bad, it's not good, it's just it's a short story. I think like I said with Jekyll and Hyde in my other video, if I had had a discussion on this, if I had the like classroom setting in this where this could be like explored deeper, and yes, I could do that on my own to a certain extent, but at the same time it's still different whether you're talking to other people or whether you're just like going in on something on your own. I think I would have more of an opinion on it, and I'd have more of maybe an appreciation for what it is as a story. Generally speaking, I enjoyed it. It was fine, but it's nothing where I say I would read and reread and go back in and explore it deeper or anything, just like of my own accord. A little bit of a micless update because I'm too lazy to get up and get my microphone from back there. So here we are. I started Paladin's Grace by Kingfisher. Giggling. I don't know the last time a book had me like smiling, giggling, kicking my feet. I love this so much. I've been reading so many like classics and higher fantasy or like darker fantasy, much more like war driven things the last couple of weeks, and this, pure joy. This has just brought me pure joy. Oh my god. I know that shit's about to go down. So Paladin's Grace follows our Paladin Steven. It follows our Paladin Steven and a perfume maker. What do they call it? Perfumer? I love that I'm forgetting that word. Her name is Grace. Basically, something has happened with the paladins in this world, specifically the paladins of a specific god in this world, in that their god has died, and so they've lost all connection to this god, and they have been taken in by a different godly court. And one night, as Stephen is walking home from a job that he's been given, just protecting people, basically, that's like their entire job in this new court, he meets a woman who's being chased by some of the people from a different court that is a little more on the extreme side. And they have a little bit of a moment as he's trying to protect her, because the only way that he can figure out how to like help her in this situation is to act like they're fucking against the wall, which caught me so off guard for a moment there. I genuinely, like, I was expecting it, but I wasn't. The entire scene is very, very funny in my opinion. And yeah, he walks her home after it, and they don't see each other again until a little bit later, and then shit's about to go down.
that's how far I've gotten into this. I'm on page 80. I read the first 12 chapters and okay, how, like, I don't even know where to start with this. Steven is a little angel. He knits socks for his fellow paladins. He's just like standing outside the door of his job knitting, because why do I keep hitting the book? Because like he doesn't have anything else to do. He's just like waiting. So he's just like knitting away, knitting socks. Grace is so sweet, and we keep getting glimpses into her past, and she's been married before, and kind of her relationship with this man and her relationship with the memories of her past. And it's so painful to see. It is, oh my god, it's so sad the way she speaks about herself, and the way that this relationship clearly has made her feel about herself and her worth and her job in this world. It's tragic. It's so sad. But like aside from those two, this is a book that has managed to make me also care about side characters. Let's start with Marguerite, who is Grace's friend. She's a spy for this like bigger city that's a little ways off from where they are. And it's so funny. She's so funny. She's so fun. Marguerite and Istvan are so, I love them. They're so funny. They're so funny. They're so funny. And everybody in this has like, it's so like quippy, and it's so fun to read. Their interactions with each other and how like their relationship dynamics play out. So yeah, I'm so, this is bringing me so much joy. This is making me so happy. What else can I say about this? I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I think this is gonna be the rest of my day. I think the Iliad has already been forgotten. I look crazy. So many feelings. I'm not done yet. It is 8:30. Okay, I don't even know where to start. I was having such a good time, and then in the span of like 3 chapters, everything just went insane. Spoilers for those who don't want to hear it. Grace is in jail, about to be trialed for murder, or attempted murder so far. Steven is in jail because he let the tide take over. And in jail, he was attacked by one of the creatures that is going about biting off people's heads. So much has happened. I'm losing it. Philip, the absolute demon of an ex-husband, is back. I don't even know. I want to cry. And then Marguerite didn't show up, and sometimes I'm like sitting here and I'm like reacting to these things, and I'm like, is it normal to have this much of a reaction to a book? But I feel like it should be. Literally, the last line of chapter 39 is, the last lines is, she barely heard the words. Zale spoke to her, and she nodded as if she understood, but she understood only one fact. Marguerite hadn't come. I'm gonna cry. This is not okay. So much is happening. I'm loving this so much, despite the absolute despair that I am feeling right now. Kingfisher is doing such a good job of, one, painting a picture. Lord, when we finally got this description of the like evil force and like the kind of other villains, because let's be honest, the motherhood is a villain of itself, but whatever. Like the beheading villains. Um ugh. I literally gagged. It was I feel like every single time she describes it, there is a picture in my head, and that picture is just getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and oh my god. Um, I love the characters in this. I love truly all of them. Genuinely, all of them feel like adults, and they're handling things like adults, and it doesn't feel like I'm reading this book that is technically about adults, but they're described like teenagers and they're acting like teenagers. These are 30-something-year-old people acting like 30-something-year-old people. And even, especially like just in the description of how they deal with conflict and how they deal with misunderstanding, that's where I felt that the most. What the fuck just happened? My watch just vibrated on my arm. I was like, oh. Yeah, how misunderstanding and conflict is being dealt with in this makes me so happy, especially because everybody is like feels mature enough that they're able to like recognize when they've done something wrong and are able to have that conversation, even if that means dredging up feelings of hurt. Got to a point where with Grace specifically, I felt like she was talking down on herself so much, and we hadn't gotten the full story with Philip yet, and now we just got like that entire thing, and I was like, oh, I see why you're the way you are. My poor little babes, you poor soul, you deserve so much better. There is so much that she has gone through that has put her in this headspace of, oh, she keeps talking about, throughout the story, she keeps talking about how normal people would do something and how normal people would act in a situation, and I'm starting to cry. And it's so heartbreaking to watch her feel like she's not good enough, like she's weird for feeling the way she does, like her emotions and her responses to situations aren't valid, when in reality, like everything she's gone through and everything she feels about what she's gone through is so valid. Like, I have no other word for it. I'm crying on camera. You know how everybody went through a phase where they were like taking pictures of themselves crying? I didn't do that. Maybe this is my version of doing that. It's just crying about books on camera. But yeah, that like was heartbreaking to watch her then. Again, mild spoilers. Well, kind of massive spoilers, but like to have to watch her sit in a courtroom across from this man accusing her of doing things that she clearly has never done, and of questioning not only her character but who she's grown to be outside of this relationship, and having to kind of relive this clearly extremely traumatic situation that she was in, that she was placed in by the people who were supposed to care for her, especially, is like so difficult. And like that entire exchange, even like the few moments where she speaks out for herself, I was like, oh my god, I'm so proud of you, because like you can see how much she's grown in herself in that way, despite the fact that so much of what he put her through still weighs on her and still affects the way she thinks about herself and the people around her and the relationships around her, to this day. And like, especially now, the whole Marguerite, my camera cut off in the middle of that. Where was I? But yeah, that is me crying about Paladin's Grace for I don't know how long. I'm so sorry. I still can't get over the fact that my camera just cut out. That was so funny. And we are back. in the same position, mic-less once again, because I'm still not gonna get up and get the mic. So anyway, I just finished this. It is just before 10 p.m. The end of this book made me so happy. I'm kind of not sad, sad isn't the word. I'm kind of hung up on what to rate this because I love this. I love the characters, I love the writing. I think it was incredibly done. I think the mild spoiler corpse head thingies, I think they're incredibly creepy and very, very well written because of that. Because I'm assuming they're meant to be creepy as shit. Yeah, I think the things that are meant to be creepy are creepy. The things that are meant to be frustrating are frustrating. Lord, oh my god. This book very much encapsulates why I am not a part of organized religion. And I don't say that in a bad way. Listen, you believe what you want to believe. If belief and if faith brings you comfort, good for you. It is not for me. And specifically organized religion in the way that it is depicted in this book, Lord, murderous at times is how I felt. But generally speaking, I feel like I've said everything that I could say about this. I love them all. I cannot wait for Istvan? Listen, again, the audiobook says Istvan, and I know there's an H, there is an H behind that V, which makes me think it's Van. So maybe I'm wrong, whatever. Point being, I can't wait to read Istvan's story because he's so funny in this and I love him in this. So I can't wait to have an entire story of him and potentially Marguerite. Yeah, that would be cool. I literally have nothing else to say. I'm gonna go to the store now, get food for tomorrow, get snacks for now, and then we're gonna sit and read the Iliad for a while. This, I cannot begin to describe to you how much I love this. I love this so much. Kingfisher really ate with this one. Is this a 5-star book? Yes it is. Yes it is. Why am I even trying? Okay, let's go. Brief updates. I am gonna go to sleep. It is just before midnight and I have reached book 18 for today. I am incredibly tired. But yeah, I think I finished a whole book. I started and finished a book. I read like 30, not 40, let's not go extreme. 30 pages of a different book this morning. And then now I've read 80-ish pages. Does that come out right? I don't know. 70 to 80 pages of a different book. I'm just kind of glad that I made some progress in this. I didn't finish it like I was hoping to, but I hope to finish it in this month at least. That is my only hope in life, is that I finish it this month. Because I've said that for the last 3 months and I did not do it. So here I am pleading with myself that this gets finished this month. I cannot take this into November. I've had enough. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it dragging on. It's kind of shocking that I didn't feel this way with the Odyssey, because I read the Odyssey as well. And with that, I feel like maybe having Epic, like I'd listened to Epic the Musical, which is why I wanted to read the Odyssey in the first place. Like I knew the general story of it, but I never read the actual Odyssey, and so I ended up reading it because I listened to the musical. And I think having that as entertainment, as well as the fact that so much more happens in the Odyssey. Like, At the end of the day, Odysseus is going kind of from place to place, meeting a bunch of different people, talking to a bunch of different people, and it feels like an actual, well, odyssey. This takes place on a singular battlefield, and it is just lists upon lists upon lists of names and people who died and who they were the sons of and who they were the parents of and who their wives were and who their children were and who all of the people that they were fighting with are. I can't do it anymore. It's tedious. It is tedious at best, and sometimes I literally find my brain just stopping. You know, I find myself like my eyes like glazing over as I read, and I don't want that. I don't want to feel like that reading a book, but I also don't want to DNF this because I'm not hating it. I'm just like in this mode where I'm like, I've read this for too long. I feel like if I'd picked it up and read it within a week, I would be fine and I would have loved it and I would have been like, oh my god, it was like tedious, but I still had a great time. This has taken me July, August, September, June, July, August, September, October, 3 or 4 months, because I keep picking it up and putting it down, and I can't take it anymore. I really can't. I need it to end.